Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? It's KlueDaMFDon here with the Stank Breath for the Morning Medicine. And as you see, I have a very special guest, familiar face. I had her on the show before and was definitely excited to have her come back. So I'll let her reintroduce herself.
We're doing spirit fingers. Supposed to be doing spirit fingers with me. Isn't gay considered gay if a man does spirit fingers? Because like I tried that with a straight dude, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know nothing about that." I'm like, "Oh, all right, let me give you dap then." Okay, all
It really
right.
all depends on the context, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, even as like a straight man, like I don't have children, but if I had a daughter and she walked up to me and was like, "Daddy, spirit fingers," I'm gonna do them motherfucking spirit fingers.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Got you. I saw this thing on the Shade Room yesterday where this girl used her husband as her nail mannequin, and people were like, "Oh, here come all the feminist type dudes," like, and somebody posted in the comments like, "Sis, you could have just allowed him to." You could have like left him alone and used like a hand mannequin. Why'd you have to use your husband? And then it made me kind of think like I've seen so many different men try on their old ladies, clothing and wigs and all that. And in my mind, I feel like and this is my mind, I feel like they're demasculating you as a man. Like I understand there's some things that you as a man want to be supportive of your, significant other, but at the same time, like when at what point do you cross? Is crossing the line in a way? Like what's the craziest thing you've ever had any woman you were dating or you were talking to or whatever asked that you did ask for you to do that kind of like made you question your manhood in a sense?
To be honest, nothing that made me question my manhood because I'm pretty secure in that and in my sexuality. Some of the craziest things that I'll say a woman has asked me, I don't even say crazy. I've had a woman ask me to braid her hair like 3-strand twist type shit. And I kind of remember just because I was raised by women. So I knew how to do basic shit. Now, granted, I don't know, it ain't gonna hold together.
You know how retwist dreads. I'm asking for a friend. Can you do some like services like out the house?
I know how to make it look professional. I know how they put the little shit on there and they do like this.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna stick for anything. They might fall out a little later, but I know how to make it look good in the moment. But I mean, as far as like, crossing the line, like you said the man that his wife used his hand as like a prop. I mean, like, I feel like if she really was like, my wife is really out here trying to grind, trying to become a nail technician and shit like that. And, she can have that little stupid ass little hand that don't look like any person's hand in real life and practice on that shit. But if she really needed a practical person, I don't give a fuck. Like, whatever, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? You trying to improve yourself, you know what I'm saying? Why the fuck not? I mean, shit, if I'm a barber and my wife has short hair, I'm going to want to practice on my wife's head.
Okay. Very, very well said. I just want to hear from another man's, perspective and everything else, posting the pictures and all that other type of stuff. So I didn't know like at what point, because I've seen men wear their girlfriends' clothing, out with them, like literally like really tight skinny jeans and the Uggs. And I'm like,
see, I mean, I feel like that's just, that's just all about the whole, what your style is. Well, I guess what your sexuality, you have the whole metrosexual thing going on. I mean, like, I'm just personally from the generation of, men wear men's clothes, women wear women's clothes. There was a point in time where I was kind of like very like, what the fuck, when I would see, the Jaden Smiths and the ASAP Rockies doing their crazy shit. But now I'm at the place where I'm just like, fuck it. That's what you like. That's what you like. There's so, but it's like when you compare ASAP Rocky in the dress to then when Kid Cudi just did it, it was very awkward. I would like to say that ASAP Rocky did it better, but that's even weird to say, right? So it's
and then Kid Cudi he decided to turn off his comments. I'm like, brother, you know what, what you're doing. Like, this is my thing, man. You can't get upset if people sit here and have a lot of quote unquote negativity to say about you. Like just take it. Okay, you decide to wear that. You decide to post. You posted a picture knowing hundreds of thousands of millions of people were going to see this, and on top of that, they're still going to talk about it. Now, again, people. Now I learned that a lot of people who are online aren't going to always be as bold to say the same things that they're saying online to your face, but you might have a few bold people. So then what? What are you going to do then?
I think that, you know, as a celebrity or as anybody in that place, you know, you hit it on the head. Anything that you post is going to be criticized, and if you know you're doing something that is against the regular natural thought of society or the masses, then just understand that that's what's going to come with it. Now, I can't imagine the feeling. I can't imagine the feeling of having literally hundreds of thousands of people saying negative shit about you. I can't imagine having to scroll through that. I don't even know what the notifications on your phone look like as a celebrity, you know, so I can't imagine. It probably does get overwhelming. However, and also, you chose to post that shit. You have celebrities that don't post anything. You have celebrities that don't deal with shit like that, probably because they don't got time to deal with it. They're choosing to stay away from that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel, I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand the feeling, but I personally, I try not to feel too bad for people that be like, oh, I couldn't stand it. Then why did you do it, nigga? Like
same thing with girls who like to come out the house, you know, dressed in the shortest of the short of whatever, literally looking like they just like came from the 99-cent like little thong store, and then they got the why all y'all don't respect me? What you over here looking at? What you staring at? Like what you over here make? You sis, you came out the house like you know to put clothes on. Come on now.
I had an interesting conversation with my wife about that because I had a very similar mindset, right? She was just like, or the mindset needs to be to teach men and teach people to be more respectful. And I was like, I agree 100%. I was like, there is definitely a huge healthy dose of, yeah, we need to make sure that our young men understand that you need to, you know what I'm saying, respect women, you know, for sure. And to counter that, I was like, also with our young women, we need to make sure that they're going to dress like that they need to be prepared for what could possibly happen. Because I'm not saying that all men are going to make lewd comments, but there are going to be some, unfortunately, if not most, that are going to make lewd comments. You need to be prepared for what is going to happen, because I hate when I hear women say like, oh, I can't wear that, I have too much breasts, or I can't wear that, I have too much ass. It's like, that is how God bless you to be. Don't let an immature man stop you from dressing comfortably. You feel like you got to cover up your breasts and be hot while we at the beach just because you think a nigga ain't gonna be able to handle
now here's the thing, the beach is okay, that's acceptable. That's acceptable because it's a water friendly, you know, kid friendly. Well, I would say kid friendly, but hey, whatever. It's acceptable in a sense, right? But if you at the airport, and mind you, I see a lot of this stuff on a regular. Anybody out there watching?
You gotta tell me about your airport series though, because you be at the airport for hours. I'll be like, yo, does she work at the airport?
Yeah, I work there. I work there,
but that's how it happens.
You know, but. Yeah, but no, I mean, like, even with me being at the airport and you know, I know you popping, so you got like 10,000 followers and listeners and all that other type of stuff. I feel like you do. I feel like you secretly got 10,000 listeners.
I appreciate your optimism.
Hold on, I knocked on wood to expedite it a little bit quickly, but to all the people out there, if you ever watch my you know, IG stories, typically on the weekends at the end of the week or so, I'm always like typically like recording people, and it's hilarious, like recording people like, you really chose to come out the house looking like that, but you can't. But here's the thing though, I'm not the only one doing that. It's other people out there doing it. I feel like there are other, because I've seen other people.
There be videos that I'll be like, how are people just allowed? Like, I've never seen somebody just outright recording some other shit happening unless everybody else was doing it. But sometimes you see those videos, it'd be that one person recording. I'd be like, how is nobody saying nothing about it?
It's a way you have to do it too, you know. And there's some things I can't catch everything because either A, like I'm busy with a customer, or B, that person's just looking dead at me. And there's a way that you could, even if they're looking dead at you, there's a way that you could, you know, make yourself look as if you're not recording them, you know. So I think that's the thing about it, you know, there as well. But it's like some things, and then you can't do it for too long. If you do it for like a cool 5-6 seconds, a person can replay that, you know, go back to that same video and just look and stuff like that. Like I've seen girls come out the house and they look 3-4 months pregnant and they're not even pregnant, and they come out the house with a half shirt and they shorts, and it looks bad. People they forget to put lotion on their feet. But I think, like I said, even when coming to the airport, like people coming up to the airport with all of this designer and jewelry on, bro, sis, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Yeah, the airport is a safer place if you want to wear, I guess, your most expensive jewelry, because you can't really make it that far. You have police and you're on federal property. But at the same time, why do you feel the need to come and this is just me. I like I have a Michael Kors watch, right? But I only wear that Michael Kors watch to my birthday dinner, a very important event. I'm not wearing it and I haven't worn. Look, I actually need to go to the jewelry store and change out the battery. Speaking of it, because I haven't gone to change the battery in a couple years.
You wear for certain things.
You know, but it's like I feel like it's a time and place for everything, and I feel like maybe people just want to show up and like you wear the Balenciaga and you wear all of this other YSL and all that other, like I don't know, like I mean, why would you want to wear that to the, and you gonna be on the flight for maybe 30 minutes or an hour?
See, the thing about it is it's not for what. So I'm okay. Let me start off by saying this. I'm not one of those people, because I feel like I'm about to defend the action, but I am definitely not one of those people. But
I feel like you are. I feel like you're more like do you have a lot of designer in your, do you have Louis Vuitton and Gucci bags in your, okay, I felt the vibe that you're just like, look, if you catch a nice shirt at Walmart, you're gonna go like cop it and then keep moving.
To be completely honest, the largest brand by quantity that I have in my closet currently is my own. And I'm actually very proud to say that. After that is definitely your Walmarts, your Rosses, your Burlingtons. I love anything coming from there. Now you can find some good shit coming from there, but it's not gonna be Louis Vuitton.
Of course.
Now when I go to the airports, me personally, I'm definitely sweatpants. Usually some type of slide, because taking off the shoes and blah blah blah. And I'm very chill. Like I have a hat, I have my sweatpants, I have some type of jacket because it gets cold on the plane. You know, I'm actually very kind of low key because I don't like bringing a lot of attention to myself. And headphones. Gotta have headphones.
As you should. And
bro.
Listen, I'm pretty sure you leave a nice tip too. You be the person I look forward to coming to shop at my kiosk, because you'll leave me a tip. If people, I go
eat out, I'll definitely leave a tip. Now it's not gonna be a crazy tip, because the airport food is already like 55% jacked up. But then it's like it's like so okay. But long story short, back to what I was saying about the people who dress up all crazy. It's not about necessarily where you're at; it's about where you're going. So I've seen people show up, like, because I went to Vegas a lot. So I've seen people show up to the airport for Vegas or that last hour of the flight. There's a line of motherfuckers trying to get to the bathroom because they all trying to get pretty before we land. Because usually I'm going to the lake, you know, I'm going to Vegas. I've landed at all different types of the night, but you know, I go to Vegas and land at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Everybody ready to cut the fuck up. So it's either they're in a line on the plane, they came on the plane dressed up, or the bathroom's right off the plane. Everybody's in that motherfucker trying to change. I've seen niggas in there come out of the stall like it was a fucking locker room, like in they boxers and shit, with a fucking towel over their shoulder and went brushing their teeth. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck? Like we in the airport bathroom. But it was crazy. I
haven't seen that. I think last week I saw somebody trying to wash their like Tupperware ice dish or something, and I wanted to ask her, but I said, Kendra, you're getting off the clock in like 5 minutes. Just go home. And I think actually when I came out the bathroom, I was already off, so I just went home. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much, you know, what it comes down. Like, I don't know. I just feel like when you come to the airport, you're supposed to come comfortable. I understand it is cold on that plane. And again, like next week when I go catch a flight to Orlando, I'll have some shorts on, I'll have a shirt, and I'll have a jacket. You know, and keep it at that. Like something like the acronym in school, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, or smarty. That's what they didn't want us calling each other stupid, so we called each other smarty. Like, you don't, I just, like I said, for me, and then on top of that, I'm paranoid in the sense where people can rob you, man. Like, even once you get off that plane, like, anybody could easily rob you once you like step outside the airport and you're like maybe 15, 20, 30 feet away. Like, and now it's like, what, because you wanted to look fly. And that's what the same thing with these rappers who like to post all of these pictures of their money or they weed, and they get mad when someone robbed them. Like, you asked for that.
Or the cops are waiting for them when they get to their next destination. Like, that's the shit that I fucking like. Okay, so R.I.P. and no disrespect to the dead, but Juice WRLD. So, from my understanding, that whole situation was there was a lot of chatter and bullshit and posting on the before end of his flight. So, by the time he actually landed, I want to say it was in Chicago, the cops were already waiting for him because they knew that they had illegal substances. And then he made the decision to try to swallow them and essentially overdose. So it's like,
wait, that's what happened?
Yeah, it was.
Why did he just? I mean, but he knew if he would have got arrested, he would have been out like honestly, a day later.
I don't know, and I'd like to, and I'm not gonna say I'd like to say anything. I mean, the man is passed away, so it's like I'd like to say that there was some sort of either logic and or he was probably high when he made the decision.
Why didn't? But why not just throw it away? Like, wait, but hold on, wait. Okay, so wait, he showed up to the airport with the substances, or he had?
From my understanding, he flew from either LA to O'Hare, I want to say, or Atlanta. He was flying from somewhere to Chicago, had the substances on him. And
and now we're trying to figure out how did he actually have it on him? Like, how did TSA? Does this fall back on TSA?
Shit. TSA ain't shit. Listen, I done got some shit through TSA and didn't even know on accident. I done got shit through TSA and then got to my destination and been like, how the fuck did I even get here with this?
Oh my god!
And then literally, make me feel more unsafe about traveling because I was like, how did y'all not catch this? This is why shit be happening.
You know what? We'll have to talk about that behind the scenes. Once the recording's off, we'll have to talk about.
You do work at the airport? Are you TSA?
No. I mean, no, child. No, I don't. I could not be TSA. I could not be TSA whatsoever. Like, the fact that they literally like get so much flack. And there's a certain outfit that they have to wear and have their shirt tucked in. But no, I'm saying, like, I literally, like, you know, because there was this question on the Shade Room a while back, probably about a year and some change back, and it said, what have you ever snuck through TSA that made it on? And then, like, a lot of people, you had to keep scrolling through the comments to see, because the first like 10, 15 comments, people like, I'm not telling you, y'all the feds, that type of stuff. But then people kept scrolling. They said, I snuck weed, I done snuck this. And I was like, how do you actually? And that's what I thought to myself, because there have been times where I've gone through TSA and I didn't even have to take my shoes off. You know, that was like when I was on Delta a couple of times. I was like, okay, maybe it was because they already had the dog sniff me before. Yeah. That's probably why I didn't have to take my shoes, which I'm still trying to figure out. Why do I even need to take my shoes off anyway? Like, what? Because you can put explosives in your shoes?
It's a lot of different reasons. It's because, you know, people, you can hide things in your shoes. There can be wiring in your shoes.
Wiring to do. I mean,
there's a whole bunch of it's honestly like people get real creative with the little mechanisms that they be trying to.
I mean, but what can you actually? I guess I'm in my mind, because mind you, when it comes to my logic and level of thinking, I don't think too deep into trying to figure out how to actually like blow up something. So
me either.
So I'm trying to figure out what can you actually use with the wires. Like, this is what, again, we probably had to talk about this off camera and
or not. You know, because there's no reason to go into.
I don't know. I thought about that. I thought, like I said, going back with Juice WRLD, like, it makes me wonder. Maybe again, he probably paid these people also. Like, hey man, I got some stuff on me, and you know, don't like let me just go ahead and go through, because you know, money talks now. Money talks. If somebody gave you $1,000 to just allow, you know, to scan, you know, you probably do it. Like, man, they ain't paying me enough here.
I mean, I guess, like, for me, it's like, okay, I'll just speak for myself. For the times that I've had shit go through TSA, like, there was a time, okay, I was in the military, so when we used to go through, I had my uniform on, and they would check us, but they wouldn't fully check us. And I remember actually sitting in the seat and reaching into my pocket and realizing that I had a whole 3.5-inch pocket knife that I just naturally was part of my uniform that was still in my pocket. And I'm just like, nigga. So I just kind of slightly kind of unclip it and then stuff it into my pocket because I'm just like, they really didn't check me. And then they'll, another time I'm coming from Vegas and I go, reach up into the top bin, pull down my carry-on, and I'm just like, oh, that's loud. And I open my bag and it's loud because I got some weed in my damn carry. And I'm just like, how the fuck did y'all not? It went through the
Wait. I thought y'all can't smoke weed if you in the Army. Let me sorry.
No. This was after the fact. This was
I was about to say, I'm like
Air Force though. Yeah, but it was after the fact.
No, I was about to say, I'm like, wait, I thought like once you enlist yourself, you can't do none of that because that's
don't get me wrong. Just because you in don't mean you. I mean, you can do what you want to do. Okay. It's just against the rules.
Okay, of course, like most things are. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I knew some people that got down with it.
No. What they make us do now is like for employees, like for now, what they make us do, and eventually they might switch it back, but they make us go through like the regular TSA. So we we don't have to actually stand up and like hold our hands up over our hands or head or anything else like that. We could just walk through the metal detector, so it's easy for us to just, if you want to sneak in drugs or so, it's like ways that you can put it, as long as it's not on your bags when it's going through the actual conveyor belt, then you're good. You can be able to sneak that, because I would always have my coworkers say that again.
Y'all be smoking the weed that y'all be finding the passengers with?
You know what? I don't know what they do with that. I'm pretty sure they do something with that.
It's okay. You can tell me.
No, I mean, I would love to keep it, if they were to find it, but they ain't, me and TSA ain't cool like that. If I'm gonna ask a TSA agent, like, hey man, next time you get some of that sticky icky, holla at your girl, man. Hey, mail it to me.
But I mean, answer this though. Like, have you ever seen somebody just randomly like leave a bag, like just like drop a bag off and then walk away? You're just kind of like, you ain't going.
I haven't. Well, no. Well, what I have done is when I used to work in the restaurant in the airport, because I just work at a kiosk now. When I used to work at the restaurant, there have been times bags have been left there, and there were times where I would just, didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, so I would move the bag to the front, and I got yelled at about that because what happens is, in case like there's like an explosive, there's something, my fingerprints are the last ones on it, and I can be held liable and responsible for that. And they said from now on, never ever touch it ever. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, it's just a bag, but anything, but that's how you can get set up. But no, I have like I said, wanted to.
That's what happened to OJ.
That's what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So you a black person that thinks he didn't do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because he's listening to your podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Great.
Do you think R. Kelly did everything, or do you feel like he was set up for some of those things too?
R. Kelly definitely did it.
Everything. Okay. You think Bill Cosby did everything?
That's a tough one.
This is how I feel about R. Kelly. I think he did like 95% of stuff, but I feel like 5% of that probably was like framed on him. I feel like same thing with Bill Cosby. I think he did most of that stuff. I think on top of that, a lot of these other entertainers that haven't been caught yet, they have doing the same stuff, but because they're complying with the man, they're not gonna get caught. Like, that's what happens when you sign your name in blood. When the Illuminati's real, folks. I don't know when y'all gonna realize that.
He was going there.
when you sign your name across that dotted line, they own you, and when you tell them no, then that's it. How do you think that guy Salento, the whip and Nene do? How do you think he got caught? He said no. Okay, they set him up.
I think okay, I put it like this. I put it with some celebrities. I think that some of it is a situation of I think that there's two different definite sides of the story. There's a side of it where you have a celebrity that takes advantage of somebody he shouldn't have, or they shouldn't have, not he, but they, it could be either gender or the ones in between. And then you have the other side of somebody who literally signed up for something and then after the fact decided that they didn't like it and then lied and said that they were taken advantage of. Those are the two definite sides of it. Then you have, like I said, everything in between. I feel like, when you have situations where one person comes out and then another person comes out, and then another person comes out, and then all of a sudden there's like 50 cases. I think that's when you start to grab and fool into those opportunists and the people that are just trying to get out there and be like, yeah, I had sex with him, but now I'm gonna turn around and be like, I didn't want that sex. And you know what I'm saying? So it's now people coming out. Now I'm not, like I said, but there's that other side of it, because there's definitely men that take advantage of situations. So I'm not trying to say that they're innocent. I choose to kind of stick away from it. I try to go with the facts. You can't unfact the fact that you heard R. Kelly and that young woman's voice on the tapes.
No, of course, no. That's
right?
very true.
That. Now the whole Bill Cosby stuff, I don't really know if there's anything to that extent. It's really just story time. So you know, I don't know. It's really tough. It's a really tough situation. But yeah, I'm not as Dave Chappelle would say, a victim blamer. I think it's funny as shit to be a victim blamer, but I personally can't be a victim blamer because I'm too empathetic, unfortunately. But
no, of course, and that's why I think the thing about it, you gotta take people. I look at it more so their talent versus them as like, I don't look at these people as God, man. And I think that's a problem. People look at these people as God and fail to realize that they're human too, and they're capable of doing anything. Yep. You know, like after, like, I feel like you a real cool cat, but how do I not know you ain't gonna try to slap an old lady just because you just felt like she disrespected you for no reason, and the woman's 95 years old? Like, how do, like.
People be like, I could never see them doing that. Nigga, you don't know them.
You don't know them, man. You got to give people the benefit of the doubt, man. Anybody is capable of doing anything. There is no such thing as a good person. Like, I thought I was a good person until I started reacting a certain way when people started, you know, getting to the fast lane, driving slower than I was. Honey, you got to hear, my thoughts are evil. I thought I was a good person when I'm sitting here literally having a whole good conversation at my kiosk, literally giving them, I give great, excellent customer service, right? And then they say something. Then they don't even leave me a tip. I'm like, yeah, that's why you in a wheelchair. Like I was.
it's like that. It's like that, and I promise
I'm like, that's why you have not been promoted out of that wheelchair yet, because you ain't out here leaving no tip. You know, but like, I can't. I have to train my like me as a you know, I call myself a God-fearing woman, and because I, you know, follow Christ, I have to act a certain way, and my thoughts are very unacceptable. Like, that's where maturity within me, I have to hold my own self accountable.
Though, are they unacceptable?
Because no, they are because I wouldn't want nobody wishing the thoughts that I have in my head. You know, the things that I think about, the anger, how my anger can go really bad and stuff like that. Like, yes, I'm a comedian, but in the day, I'm still human. And there's some things that, you know, I just look at, I'm like, and I guess for me, like, I'm gonna give you an example. So I was reading 2 Kings yesterday, and I it was like, I think like chapter 17, where it was one of David's sons and how he was this hard, like, corrupt person. And then it went to the next chapter and it was talk about how, like, all of these people were just like literally disobeying God, but they were high in power. I was so upset where I was going off while I'm reading the word and I'm cursing these people out. And I'm like, Kendra, close the Bible. You ain't ready yet. Like, and I'm like, what? But why am I thinking like that when I'm supposed to be reading the Bible, which is supposed to give me like peace, but I wasn't feeling peace. I was angry. Like,
but I mean, I think the most important part about that is understanding that is a real emotion, that if you're going through it, you're not the only person going through it. And how I look at it is that any negative thought that I've had in my mind, and I'll be like, oh, I hope nobody thinks that about me. I know there's a motherfucker out there that thinks that about me. And all the fuck you Kaharis, all the Kaharis, you ain't shit, all that stuff that I've heard over time, in my mind, I just have to look at it like what you said was spot on. And I've literally said this before. I'm not a good person or a bad person. I'm just me. I'm just me trying to navigate life every single fucking day, trying to make the best decisions to help me and my people overcome. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just try to do what the fuck I can. You can't control what people are gonna do, what people are gonna think and or say about you. You know what I'm saying? I've had people, you know what I'm saying, I've felt like I was on the other side. Like, you know how men try to talk to a woman, and you know, she's not interested, and he'd be like, well, fuck you too then, bitch. I've been on the other side. I haven't
had that before. I'm so glad.
I've had that happen to
me. I've never been catcalled, thank God. Like, I get up, and this we had to probably bring me back, you know, for a part 3. We can talk about this since I got to go report to the man very, very soon. So, but now let me say this. I had issues I was upset because of the fact that I've never, I don't get hollered at on a regular. Like in my DMs, I get hollered at, and I was like, man, I didn't realize how many ugly people there were. I hit the World Wide Web. Anyway, so I get hollered at in my DMs, but in real life, I don't really get hollered at. I get stared at and everything else, especially not people in my age group. It's like a lot of times way older men and everything else will try to holler at me. But when it comes to that, I used to get upset, but I don't get catcalled. Like, I wonder what it feels like to get catcalled. They're like, you don't want to feel that? I've never, and I do not want to ever know what it feels like to, like, if I politely reject a guy and he just literally goes off on me. I've never had that, but I have had when I politely rejected a guy in my DMs, I have had them just block me or just stop talking to me altogether. And I was like, I thought I was funny, but I've called guys in my head, I've called them gay because they number didn't stay in my phone more than like 2 business days once. Like, I gave them my number and like they knew what time it was with me. Like, I'm like, bro, you was going to get the best throat of your life and you decided to turn me down. How dare you?
I feel like you pick and choose your battles. And I feel like, some people just do dumb shit. Like, I've never been the type to catcall and then in turn, if I get turned down, to be like, oh, fuck you too. But I've had that happen to me, and it actually wasn't that long ago. And I felt like real proud. I felt proud, but then I also felt like this big for a second because like it was right before I got moved from Texas out to Cali, and I was doing something. I can't remember where I was, and for a man to get approached is like, that's a lot. Like for me, that made my confidence go because like she was just like, hey, like you're cute. And I was like, well, thank you. Oh God. And I was just like, and then she was just like, yeah, like it's like she was very forward. And I was like, I really appreciate it, but like I'm actually spoken for. She was like, well shit, why the fuck you let me talk this long then? And I was like, it like literally like
no, well,
I'll like,
well, no, let me say this. let me go ahead and say this with her to like so you can understand her. Once you have a person compliment you, just say, I thank you so much, I appreciate it, but I don't want you to waste your time any longer. I am spoken for and everything else. And I think how long was she talking to you for? Like maybe
it wasn't long. It was literally, it was a very much so like we kind of like, not bumped into each other, but like, hey, I was like, hey, she was like, you're cute. I was like, thank you. She was like, so I mean, like, what's up with you? And it was literally like, there was I add an extra 2 seconds of staring,
Oh, okay, never mind. What's wrong with her? Something wrong with her. Then never mind. Well, I'm back on your side again. Then
I was like, what the fuck? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I was caught off guard because she was a pretty woman, but it was also like, I was just caught off guard because I'm not used to it. She kind of looked me up and down. Like, that's why you short anyway.
If your wife is okay, why don't you be? She can be concubine number 2.
Nah, we had those conversations early.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that. That's when we need to end. Let me go ahead and go. Bring me back next month. Don't answer that mess, okay? Don't answer that.
I appreciate you coming on here again. This is our second time being on here, and it's always a good vibe. We will be doing this once a month, y'all. So thank y'all for tapping in. So you getting ready to head on into the man?
Yeah, I gotta go and eat some breakfast and go ahead and do my usual morning routine. Shout out to all the people who actually do brush their tongue in the mornings and at night. We like you all.
I'm about to do that right now. It's tradition that I wait until after I record to brush my teeth.
It's fine.
I want to put that funk on it. But anyways, I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right. You be good now. Take care.
Black Wall Music Podcast, all streaming platforms. Thank y'all.